Hello YouTube friends, it's been a while since the last episode. I only get a couple of hours a day really to work on new episodes, and this one was a lot of editing. I did some enhancements to the footage or images, and it's on UFO images that I have received from a friend that has collected them. They are at least 10 to over 100 years old. They cover from 1800s to 2008. Some of them may be hoaxes and misidentified, lens flare, reflections, experimental American secret craft, and stuff like that. I'm sure if you know any hoaxes that you'll probably comment it in the comments. Love to hear from you. Before we start, I come across this image animated gift that I took a screen grab of from Twitter, and I thought I'd share it with you as it's quite artistic and nifty, and it shows the illusion to our eyes of 3D effect. So not everything you see has a logical explanation. Okay, the first one's from 1870. This would be your classic cylinder UFO or cigar UFO if it's got round ends on it. As you can see, some of the images are very poor quality, old cameras back in those days, but at least it's better than the CIA photo dump. I don't know about these ones. To me it could be just a smudge from an insect or bird. What do you think? This is the classic saucer that we're used to seeing, the old hat, flying hat. As you can see, UFOs or UAPs have been around for quite a long time, even before cameras were invented, no doubt. This kind of looks the myth that the Nazis invented the flying saucer. Maybe they reversed engineered a flying saucer, because these look like some of the 1950s and 60s and even today's UFO sightings. Also, it breaks the myth that UFOs are imagination of humans, because sci-fi movies come way after some of these photos were taken, and it couldn't be people's imaginations before they even saw stuff. Here we have some World War II photos of the classic Foo Fighters, which were like balls of light that used to follow the planes during war missions and buzz them, and some even reported that they entered inside the planes they were flying, a bit like ball lightning perhaps. Speaking about UFOs and classic sci-fi movies, I kind of remember the early UFOs were like bullets or Buck Rogers, where they classic rocket shape. Also, they captured some of the best UFOs in the early days. The modern ones don't look like anything like these early UFOs. Why don't we catch some of these flying hats on 20 megapixel cameras now? Not even many people take photos of sphere UFOs or triangle UFOs, despite the millions of cameras out there now. So, have the UFOs got some cloaking technology that we don't see them anymore? Have they progressed in their technology over the years? I'd say so. Just look at all the different locations some of these UFOs are found, all over the place. So there must be a lot of hoaxes out there, right? No, there's got to be some other explanation. Also, it's not likely they're all going to have the same concept for a model for a UFO. just looking at the hat saucer alone, how many times has that appeared since these ones in 1940s, so going back 50 years, and they still look the same. That's a strange one. A UFO with a contrail or chemtrail. Now, could that be a military plane that's got a low profile back in 1950s? Could be experimental. Or it could be a UFO that's crashing. It's just one still image, so we don't know. More classic hat saucers. The bell shape. Gotta love those old classic saucers. We should demand they come back. I don't know about this one. This one looks kind of staged. The guys don't seem to have the angle of their heads high enough for looking at those images. You might not be aware, but the Roswell UFO crash UFO was not a classic bell-shaped UFO. It was a kind of like a boomerang shape, but not a boomerang exactly. Do they call it chevron? No, it wasn't even a chevron. Probably have to do an episode on that sometime and show you the image that people claim. They definitely look like solid 3D objects or metal craft, but some of them do emit a light as well, and there's seems to be two types occurring here in the 1950s. The classic silver ones, and then you get the ones that look like bright lights. That's an interesting one from Norway. Looks like it's blasting out of water or ice there, and it's leaving sort of like a vapor trail. This one's for Bob in New Mexico. How you doing, mate? Did you see this one when you were living there? I think this one might be a natural occurrence rather than a UFO. It looks like a smoke ring. Another interesting one of a UFO following a aircraft. I would zoom in the insert rather than the UFO at the end of the craft because it has better image quality. As you can see, it looks almost like it might be an experimental craft they were working on and flying next to the plane just in case. But then you have to ask, why would they release a footage of an experimental secret craft? So maybe it is from some other location in the universe or planet. So we're getting into the late 50s to the early 60s, and look, still looking all the similar, the bell-shaped classic hat saucers of all different sizes. Some appear black, but they're probably because of the light of reflections or the time of day or night time. But yeah, different locations all look very similar. I don't know about that one. That looks like it might be a button of a shirt. like that one. That one looks very defined, and it looks like it has like those 3 spheres underneath. I kind of recall Bob Lazar said it had 3 things underneath for anti-gravity, using the element 115, and it has these like guns on a pivot that sort of direct gravity waves, as he called it, but then again that could be all pseudoscience and make-believe stuff. I'm not too sure about these ones. They look kind of like lens flare or light reflections of windows that they're filming through. What do you think on these ones? Yeah, I think that one might be a fake. Looks like something floating on a pond to me. That could be anything. It looks like someone's moving the camera as they took a picture of 2 bright lights. So they look like cylinders. Acorn UFO shape. And the meteorites entering the atmosphere maybe. And the pentagon shaped light thing. Don't know what that is, but it doesn't look like a UFO to me. Back to more bell-shaped Mexican type hat UFOs. That one could easily be a bird, like an eagle, the wings and its tail in the middle. I'm pretty sure this one's the American experimental saucer shape secret craft they're working on. As you can see, a tail fin at the end, and if you go and look at those US UFO patents episode I did, you can find that one in the collection. As you can see, back in those days, a lot of them were just black and white photos, which come out like brown and white as well due to age. But yeah, we're still getting quite a lot of the similar UFOs, you know, the classic disc-shaped UFOs. Not the boomerang ones that that guy pilot saw. What was his name? Arnold Kennedy or someone. The chevron ones he saw. These are nothing like it. Again, I think this one might be American experimental secret craft they're working on with the tail fin. It would make sense that the US were testing their planes over Mexico and South America and flying back to North America, and also maybe even over Alaska. That one looks like the flying cake, you know, the Myers one from Switzerland, that was said to be maybe doing fakes because his wife exposed him and said it was a trash can lid and all that sort of business. And he had that strange video of him firing a laser gun, which didn't even look real. It looked like Buck Rogers. But still, some people believe him and they believe his prophecies. So I don't know. He did get caught out with the woman as well, didn't he? the blonde woman, which they found was in a Time magazine article, which he thought no one read anymore. Here we got a collection of cigar UFOs again. Now these ones look like Zeppelins to me. You can see a little cabin bay underneath on some of them. What do you think on these ones? That one has a skinny high bit in the middle and kind of looks false. But I guess that some of them did have antennas, but like a Tesla claw at the top. So maybe it creates a field of electrical energy around the craft, which is part of the anti-gravital control of the system, or lift capabilities. What was that guy's name that was doing experiments with iron lifting type devices? Hey, looks like we're finally getting some colour images now. We're moving out of the 60s and now moving into the 70s. Technology has progressed. I don't know about that one. Kind of looks fake, but it could be like a experimental craft. That's the sun reflecting off the side of it, maybe causing that orange flare. Are we now starting to see UFO shapes slightly changing now? They've gone from the more oval type to from the bell-shaped type or the hat type. Looks like we're starting to see some high altitude photographs as well, perhaps even some satellite photographs or photos taken from outer space towards Earth. Starting to see some NASA photographs now. Could that be just an artifact on the film, or could that be one of these cigar UFOs on the moon? Of course, the theory is the large cigar or cylinder type UFOs are actually motherships, where they have the saucer ones inside or the sphere ones come out of it, with the sphere ones possibly being small probes that take 3D images of the surroundings and data, environment data like temperature, and maybe just collecting information on the human race. But if we had ships to explore planets with probes, we probably would be doing the same and sending it back to Earth. And just when you think that the hat UFO or bell-shaped UFOs had vanished, they're back again. So could there be different UFOs for each different alien race that's visiting Earth, or could it be lots of different experimental craft that the governments around the world are not telling us about? It's up to you to decide that and your own personal experiences out there. I don't know about that one. That kind of looks like a jellyfish that's been superimposed on a background. What do you think on that one? There's still a lot of black and white photos though, isn't there? Now where's all the colour ones? It must be expensive to have colour film back in those days. I think that might be one of the Billy Meyer UFOs, Switzerland. So we're back to the late 70s now, and there's still more acorn-shaped UFOs and bell-shaped UFOs and Mexican hat UFOs and, I don't know, cowboy hat UFOs. I think that might be one of the Billy Meyer UFOs, Switzerland. Aha, a Russian UFO. You think they could have better camera technology back in the 70s there. Now what does that look like? It could even be just a cloud formation. Here's one out to sea, but this could be one of those Zeppelin balloons they used to tow behind ships to stop aircraft attacks or dive bombing, or even use it as a lookout, have someone up there I suppose. Here's another one with the antenna on the top, which I said was like a Tesla coil, that maybe it's used for generating a field around the craft. Now this looks very similar to the one it was in America, wasn't it? It didn't have an antenna on top, same sort of shape. So maybe that's a proof that they're not all fakes, and yet it's seen worldwide. And didn't some expert analyse the footage and said it was definitely not fabricated? That one looks like a Mylar balloon that's shaped into a triangle shape. Don't think that's a UFO. Helium balloon. Now that one looks like a low profile secret stealth fighter, shaped like that. Low radar profile. So it looks like they might have had them working back in 1978 there. So they're not new technology at all. Again, looks like they're testing them over South America, Argentina. Now that one's ridiculous. That looks like a lampshade someone's hung up in a tree and just taken a snapshot. Could that one be a balloon or airship? Cylinder UFO? Here's another thing that's following no fighter jet, although it's not the best of images even when you zoom in. It could be anything. Could be a bird, it could be another plane high up. Here's one for my country of New Zealand. Now I'm not too sure what to make of this one. Doesn't really look like a classic UFO. It could be lanterns, or it could be a blimp with lights on it maybe, or it could be something unusual I suppose. That one in South America looked a bit strange. It looks almost like an organic UFO with a light inside it, but it could quite easily just be a balloon with a candle inside that they've taken a photograph of. And here we got some more old classic UFOs showing up. So we're now into the 80s, finally. We're getting there. And it could be where we get more fake images appearing. So now we're getting the triangle UFOs with the 3 dots in the corner. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Wasn't it that guy that said that the UFOs were organic and not metal? And he was invited inside it. What was his name? Dias or something like that? I don't know. That could easily be a like a lantern that's got a light source inside that he's just taking a picture of. Not too sure about this one either. It's got a fighter jet and a big UFO in the photo, but doesn't mean it's not fake. We'll never know unless we see it with our own eyes, I guess. Another strange shaped UFO. It looks like a spinning top, and I'm pretty sure these other ones are probably again the stealth fighter that they were working on, because they've got that sort of shape underneath. I don't know, it still looks like the early secret plane here to me. And this other one looks like it might be one of those early drones that they're working on with the jet engine in the middle that lifts up the device. It's probably got a camera or other sort of equipment on board it. Early drone. The famous Belgian triangle UFO. Now, wasn't this admitted to being a fake UFO? I kind of recall it was. So now we're into the 90s, so that skimmed through pretty quick. Of course, the actual UFO sighting was well documented and cited by all sorts of people like policemen, so it actually did exist. Why someone would make a fake photo of it, probably to make money from it, say here I got a picture of what they saw. So don't you just hate people that do that sort of stuff for money? It ruins the UFO community and the legit research into the field itself, and people just think everybody's a tinfoil hat wearer when they report a UFO, when there could be something quite amazing about being visited by another race outside our planet, and it's been covered up or whitewashed or disinformation. You name it. It would be good to know the truth. Why are there so many UFO photos? Millions of sightings every year. How can they dismiss it so easily? Surely the government must know for sure what's going on in space by now and around our planet. They've got so many satellites spying on each other, and radar now worldwide, and craft identification, which transmits a signal back to radio. So they must be able to eliminate our stuff to whatever the other stuff might be. Now this Australian UFO, that looks a very good picture, but that looks like it might be one of those experimental military fly-by-wire drones back before we have drones like we do nowadays. It's got like little square holes going around the outside of it, which probably are the inlets for the jet engine in the middle of it. And it's got like strange legs on it. You know, you wouldn't see an alien wouldn't be seen dead in something like that, surely. Come on now, get serious. I'm starting to see sphere-shaped UFOs and some of the slides appearing now. There was one in space there shot by NASA. If I remember right, the video, the thing shoots off. Some reckon the sphere ones are just little probes that scout planets, which kind of would make sense, that you've seen the swarm of UFOs out there that can bring back data to you, so you can then go and explore with real people. However, I'm not sure on that particular NASA one that it was faked or not, because there are a lot of NASA footage coming out now where people claim they've captured it from the live streaming service, which is now defunct, and some have added their own UFOs in it. Won't mention channel names, you'll know who that might be. Also, I see there's a return of the flying hats again in some of these slides. Seems they are consistent throughout the years of showing up. To me, this one looks fake with the helicopter and UFO. It could be a RC helicopter. It looks like a toy helicopter to me, but I could be wrong. It could be a legit snap of a helicopter chasing a UFO, or the other way around. More odd-shaped UFOs. One looks like it's been stood on. One even looks like the Kecksburg UFO, with the shape of an acorn, or what they call it, the Nazi bell. Not sure about this one. It's a bit blurry and far away. It could easily be a seagull or bird similar to that. Here's a funny idea. Perhaps UFOs visit South America and Mexico a lot, and also Texas, because I see people wearing hats that look like their own spaceships. So they might think they are communicating with them. Here's a snap from that video I think that everybody loves to hate, of the UFO that wobbles around the high rises, and it was on various shows like Fact or Faked. Not sure what to make of these ones. A bright horizontal line that could be a cylinder UFO, and then we got this black one that looks again like one of those stealth fighters, and then we got this funny shaped one which could be skydivers or something similar to that. What do you think on that one? Here's a satellite photo. Looks like it might be inverted colours. Now we've finally made it to the year 2000. These ones look like Silvercraft, and also there could easily be Mylar silver balloons maybe. This one's a really strange image, kind of looks suspect to me. Or it could be like a thin thread of cotton on the lens, I don't know. Was it trying to suggest that it's flying down from outer space and curving towards the volcano? I don't know anything on this photo whatsoever. It's the first time I've seen it. So if any of you out there know about it, you can add your comment. Those diamond-shaped UFOs, they say, are an artifact caused by the camera lens or the shutter, where it creates a diamond when you zoom right in on the image. Some interesting colour photos here. You can see the light shining off it. It's definitely a three-dimensional object, and also looks like maybe one of these is another sphere, black sphere UFO. This one's quite hard to see, but it looks like a white UFO, or UAP, with some black smoke vapor coming out the back of it. What do you think on that one? This one reminds me of ceiling lights that may be reflecting off a plate of glass in a window where they're taking a photograph of it. This one's definitely Mylar balloons, well, a bunch of them all joined together. This one looks like a deflated triangle balloon as well. We've seen one of these before, or it's a modified photo of the other one and put up as a fake maybe. This one's got to be a fake, and you can see one of the lights over top of the branch limb there, and it's got a little red tinge there. It's got every reflection in the window, I'd say, and they've taken a photograph. 3 triangle lights. It does seem now we're at the year 2000 onwards that more fakes or hoaxing is happening, because everybody now has home computers to edit video from cameras and change it instead of having to use models and other tricks. It's kind of a shame that people do that, because it muddies the water, so we don't actually get to see the real UFOs that are really out there. Could be part to do with military, put people out there that makes it all fake, and so people dismiss it and don't pay attention to their secret programs that they got going on. What's this one? An air show perhaps, and they've caught a black object or black sphere UFO again. And this one coming up with the 3 lights. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't look like UFOs. It could be lanterns, you know, Chinese lanterns, but it also could be like one of those kites that has lights every so often down the, what do you call it, the tail stabilizer on the kite. Some more Milo balloons, tube-like balloons that you have on showgrounds that sort of escaped and floating around because it's got helium. I think these ones are fakes as well. Maybe a close-up of street lamps, you know, they're sort of like got sodium and they turn orange at night time. Could be just a 3-bulb system, but maybe I'm wrong. And those other ones that look like, I don't know, something from a sci-fi, they definitely look like Photoshop. You know, if you look at the images very carefully, you can see they sort of have the same cut and paste to it. Those ones before could have been oil sieve platforms that burn off natural gas, wasn't it? Sort of covered by the debunked channels out there. Quite a few orange and bright yellow light type UFOs, which generally I think are fakes. And then you got this one here, which is a classic saucer again, with the antenna on top, which is again maybe like a Tesla coil. Again, more silver craft that look three-dimensional. And then we got some of these other ones that are blurry and could be bugs that are flying close to the lens when it was taken. That's a strange one. It kind of looks like a three-dimensional silver craft that's blurred from speed. But I suppose it could easily be a bird that's sort of deformed as it's been flying. This one with all the coloured lights and stripes, that's a very strange one. To me it looks like something that's been photographed and time-lapsed or moved or something like that, creating a funny shape. Here we got another ball UFO that's silver this time instead of black. Could that also be a Milo balloon though? You don't know really. Here's another one that looks like a silver craft. It's very strange though. I'm just wondering if it's a RC, a remote controlled vehicle of some kind. Could be experimental craft, of course. Could those ones be three parachutes together? You can't quite see the men at the bottom on the ropes because they're too far away. Or it could be those ones that clip on the body, create a flying wing. Here's one that looks like another triangle craft with the three lights in the corner. But could it also be misidentified? Could it be a plane with three lights on it and we can't see the details of the wings in between? Could it be a plasma ball, a white UFO, blow up balloons here? There's that triangle shape again. It still looks like a balloon to me. Here we got another 3D looking craft. Is it a model, an RC toy? But it could also be an experimental US craft, a jet of some sort, low profile. The end part of it looks like where the exhaust is, like channels it downwards and backwards, like it's a jet engine of some sort. more balloons from Mexico. They seem to have a lot of balloon UFOs over there. And some of them seem to have things dangling down, don't they? Oh, finally we're getting near the end of the episode. There was a lot of talking and a lot of images to show you of UFOs or UAPs or identified flying objects as well. But people will upload them even if they know what they are, to try and get some money from the images and fool people and prank them. Some of these are really strange at the end here. I'd say most of them are models or fakes myself. Well, hope you enjoyed watching the episode. If you liked it, please hit the like button on the way out. It helps me get more people to see it on the side searches. Until next episode, stay safe everybody, and I'll see you again soon, hopefully.